Welcome to the next paranormal story. The next one's going to be from a story from my dad. So my dad was working on a job in a place called Great Bardfield. It's on the borders of Suffolk and Essex. And it was just an ordinary looking house up a main street. It was about a 14th or 15th century house. But it didn't look anything special because all the other houses in that street were all the same sort of age. So my dad arrived and there was a painter already there. He didn't like it there at all. He felt as though he was being watched, and my dad agreed, and he felt the same. They both thought it felt just a little bit strange there. They were working upstairs and they decided to go down because it was about lunchtime, and there was a great big front staircase which was made of opal, and it was really luxurious and it was massive. But at the very back was a very old and ancient staircase which looked like it was so old it was going to collapse. And that staircase led straight down to the kitchen, which was quite big. It was long and extremely narrow. There was only two of them there in the house. So they sat down, got their sandwiches out and their drinks, and they was chatting away. And then all of a sudden they heard a noise from upstairs. They both looked at one another and wondered what it was. They both stopped talking and eating and drinking and listened. Then all of a sudden they could hear footsteps walking above them on the ceiling. They looked at each other and more or less dropped what they were doing and thought, let's go and have a look upstairs to see what it was. So one didn't want to go upstairs, and then the other said, well, you go upstairs. But the stairs weren't wide enough for both of them. So when they eventually got upstairs, they had a look around, but they really couldn't see anybody. They searched the whole of the upstairs from one end of the house to the other, but still there was no one to be found. So they both decided, let's go back downstairs and just continue with our lunch. And that's what they did. So they went downstairs and then they were chatting and having a laugh and a joke. Then all of a sudden it happened again, and then it kept happening about 4 times, all these footsteps above them on the ceiling, and there really was no answer to what it could be. So they had to pluck up courage, and then they would feel brave, then they'd rush upstairs to see if they could beat whatever the noise was and then see it for themselves. But there was just no one there. So what was it? Was it a ghost? Was it an echo of time? They didn't know. All they knew was that was an extremely strange house indeed. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.